Hey everyone, welcome to quarter 4, week 3. We are starting our last unit, statistics and probability. We have 2 learning targets for this week. Our first learning target is I can determine the population and sample. Our second learning target is I can determine if a sample is biased or unbiased. So we're going to start first with our 4 new vocabulary words. We have population. Population is the group that is being studied, the entire group of objects, individuals, or events. So, for example, I have all 7th grade students. So if I have a question, so statistics is all about questions and figuring out answers, kind of like surveys. So in the beginning of the year, say if I had the question, where would the 7th grade students like to go for their field trip? My target for the question is the population, all 7th grade students. But sometimes it's hard to get the answers from all 7th grade students. So we tend to ask a part of that. We tend to ask some 7th grade students, and that is called a sample. A sample is part of the population because it is difficult or impossible to gather information about the entire population. So here for the example, I put half of the 7th grade students. So if I had asked the questions, where would my 7th grade students like to go for the field trip for this school year? Maybe it was too hard to ask all the population, all 7th grade students, but I decided to ask half of the students. And with the answers that half of those students gave me, kind of more or less gave me the feeling of what most of the 7th grade students would like to do. Then we have 2 other vocabulary words. Let me highlight them. We have unbiased and biased. Our first one is biased. So I told you that statistics is all about answering questions, figuring out answers to these questions. Bias says a sample that does not accurately represent the population. So, for example, if I had the question, what is your favorite football team? And I'm trying to figure out what is everybody's favorite football team here. So I decide to go to a 49er game, and I'm there at the 49er stadium, and I decide to ask everybody that's coming into the 49er game, what are people most likely going to pick? If you are at a 49er stadium and watching a 49er game, most likely people are going to pick that their favorite football team is the 49ers. So that would be a biased sample. It does not accurately represent the population. Unbiased means a sample that accurately represents the population. So if I decide to ask the same question, what is your favorite football team? But instead of asking it at a football stadium or a football game, I decide to randomly ask every 5th person that enters the mall. So a lot of different people go to the mall. So just every person that comes in, every 5th person, I'm asking, hey, what is your favorite football team? Hey, what is your favorite football team? Then that represents an accurate representation of my population. That is considered unbiased. I have added 2 videos. One that has population and samples video, and one that says bias and unbiased. Please watch both videos. They will help you to fill in your notes, and they will help you to consider and to continue doing your classwork, so the rest of the forms. If you have any questions, I will be available through Zoom to continue on the conversation of population, sample, unbiased, or biased.